Sunnyside Live 64 is on the air.
Grab your coat and get your hat.
And on the streaming.
On the doorstep.
That's probably how you're seeing it.
Just
Stream
direct
it
your feet
later.
to the sunny side of the
But
street.
you might be in real time with me, and
keep your gait up.
that would be
to
great.
that. And your troubles with no slow step. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street.
On the second to last show of 2023, Sunnyside Live of 2023, we're going to have the last More Than a Box. Yes, sir. That's Dutch Breath Mystery Theater doing the final More Than a Box. We got a fact, the 13th fact of this series, and we're going to have a big sequence of GONAD where we meet the Squeak character. Yeah. And we got John Fleck doing Dan Coffee stories.
I used to
I love John
walk in the shade.
I love Dan Coffee.
With those blues on parade.
I love their stories.
But I'm not afraid.
I love you.
This rover crossed over.
Yeah.
Grab your coat
How can you love somebody you can't see? I can't see.
Leave your worry on the doorstep. Just direct your feet to the sunny side of the street. Life can be so sweet on the sunny side of the street.
Yeah. Oh, we're getting better and better at this. Just practicing. Second season's going to be Monday, January 1st. It starts the next 13 weeks of Monday through Friday. And we're going to use, well, I don't want to tell you about it. Just come and see it. It'll be better because we're getting better and better. Okay, we can't talk because we got a lot of video. So let's get to the Queen. Queen, far away. Why did the coyote cross the road? I don't know. Why did the coyote cross the road? It was chasing the chicken. Oh, yeah. Because the chicken crossed the road. That's the original joke. Yeah, that's right. That's right. You got it. Okay. And you know what? The Queen of the World is only going to be here for tomorrow's show. She's not going to be here for next year. What do you? Well, I can't be the. I shouldn't be the Queen without switch a door. What are you talking about? I'm not going to be here. I'm sorry, Queen. We're going with a fish motif. We're going to have the camera cutaway is going to be at an aquarium, and we're going to have fish wisdom. Just so you know. All right, let's get to it. Look at that. Look at that. Still haven't figured it quite out. Okay, the last More Than a Box. This is the last More Than a Box, and the cheers at the end. And oh, geez, Louise, this is gonna make you cry.
It was actually more than a box.
More than a box.
It was like a little TV chair.
More than a box.
Another time I came home from work and my kid was sitting there watching it like it was the TV.
More than a box. More than a box.
It was more than a box.
More than a box.
It was like a little TV.
More than a box.
And we found you could do lots of things with this box. Like when the aquarium broke, we put all the fish in it. You couldn't see them, but that was all right.
More than a box.
Out in the garage, I used it for a little step stool to reach my tools. They're up there real high.
More than a box.
Kids used it for a little carousel to go around and around on. It was a really fun thing.
More than a box.
It was like a clothing
More
store.
than a box.
You could wear it for a pair of pants,
More
or a
than a box.
shirt,
More than a box.
or a hat,
More than a box.
or a pair of shoes.
More than a box.
It was like a little delay. You could put things in it, take things
More
out of
than
it,
a
put them
box.
back in your pocket.
More than a box.
It was like a sporting
More
goods
than a
store.
box.
It was a baseball,
More than a box.
and a basketball,
More than a box.
and a handball,
More than a box.
and a football.
More than a box.
It was a torch our liberty, burning in the night, a gift from the friend. Patent pending 1975. K-Tel Productions, more than a box. Thank you. You saw the last one. They're great.
Steve Baker.
Our manager, Steve Baker, for 40 years.
Was with us all the way in this 40-year ride. Thank you. That was great. Thanks so much.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, that brings a little tear to the eye. That was the last one. We did a whole lot of those more than a boxes. All right, let's get going. We got the last fact. We had 13 facts. These are little videos, comedy videos created out of social media posts. And here's the last one of 2023. We're not going to have facts next time either. I don't know, but I don't know. Maybe you never know. I haven't quite figured out what we're going to do yet. All right, let's get over there. Let's get a fact rolling.
Fact. What is real? What is true?
In the latest urban hysteria, there is crime everywhere, including roving TikTok gangs of shoplifters looking for kicks and free shampoo. Also, arguments against heroin are now centered around the danger that you might be getting fentanyl instead, which is kind of like wanting a handful of Ruffles and getting 2 fistfuls of Cheetos instead, only lethal. If you even touch fentanyl, it is commonly believed you will be addicted hopelessly and then die. Is the government shut down yet?
So I think that's pretty good. That's what I've decided. Finally, I decided that Sunnyside is fun and comedy and insights and art. I think it's art. I think we're going to go that way. Really, this is what we're doing. Is experimenting. This is experimenting 24/7, just like a stand-up doing a practice before he goes on the late night talk shows. He practices up in his audience. That's what this is. But this is practicing in front of the real YouTube world, and we find out what's funny by what people watch. And the ones that doesn't get any views, well, I assume that's not funny, or that's not insightful, or it's not art. But that's not always true. Sometimes art is unappreciated for a long time, which is, I think, what we are. Okay. My goal was to present in the 13 weeks all of the comedy videos on the Dutch Breath Mystery Theater playlist on Sunnyside YouTube. That's where everything is. That's where you can go see all this. This fact today is premiering at 10 o'clock, and then at noon is going to be the last Twisted Fairy Tales premiering. But there's a playlist now of Dutch Breath. Then grand finale. That's the final show that my son and I produced a film. I got almost all of that in, and I wanted to try to get all of GONAD in, but we just ran out of time. So what I decided to do was run as much of GONAD as I could in this episode, and then as much as I could in tomorrow's episode, the last show of 2023. So anyway, here's some GONAD. which is remarkably current. There's some timely jokes.
Killing an adventure take a toll of a man. By and by, poor GONAD became bone weary, bone tired. And his supply of little white beans had run out. So we stopped by a Motel Bide-A-Wee, run by the tribe of Tony Perkins. Motel, nestled snug amidst the slag heaps, its neon sign no longer winking. Oh, sandwich and pillow for GONAD and Hodar.
GONAD, my boy, why don't you come in? You look so weary and much too thin. Lay down your basher and we'll warm up with some stew. Grandpa's building a sled just for you. Pete the hamster is working his wheel. He likes his shower. Would you like a nice meal? We'll see what old grandma can do. Good night.
But little did we know as we lay there sleeping in our innocence, these weren't really motel keepers, nope. These were teenage bionic werewolves in disguise. And this was Motel Hell. Grandma wasn't really grandma, and coming out of her teeth were tiny, invisible spears. Grandpa was really grandpa, but he had really bad breath. And Pete the hamster was really a chihuahua. And in his butter-suck bottle, piping hot coffee. We were in a real jam. We had only one hope. The wake-up call given to us by the magic witch. But would GONAD get the call in time? Right there, 9 o'clock.
Everybody dead. Oh. Now we'll never find where the kitchen magician is.
Oh, hombre. Ooh, that's a big hole. The kitchen magician is in the arms of the squeak bear.
Well, you've got to admit it, GONAD. He died as he lived. Slow. We searched for the squeak bear, searched far and wide, and then one fine day.
You seen the squeak bear around?
He says he hasn't seen the squeak bear. He says his name is Captain Tress. But I think he's the squeak bear in disguise.
Where is the kitchen magician?
Squeak bear says he doesn't know. Squeak bear says he just remembered.
Thank you very much.
Good going, Gonad. You've just killed a defenseless creature many times smaller than yourself.
But much smarter.
Yay, the quest is over. Yay, we found the kitchen magician. And the squeaker had found Valhalla. I hadn't lost my life. And by, we found ourselves back at the palace. Scene 4, 10 years later. What'll happen next?
Yeah, that's good stuff. I'd forgotten that. The song is good. A lot of that has to do with Merle. We would all sit together and write, and then for a long time, and write a whole play, come back the next day and not remember it. And so Merle started taking notes and eventually writing stuff down. We'd work on it, and then we'd be able to see it on a script, and he would tighten up, which is what happened there. Okay. This is the last Twisted Fairy Tale. Wrapping up the show today. Let's get over there and let's see it.
Once upon a time, there was a little boy named Andy. Andy was clever and good at sports, but he hated school. One morning, Andy dumped his book bag and the sack lunch his mother had prepared into a trash can and walked into the nearest woods. He climbed a tree to see which direction to head and heard the school bell in the distance. "So long, suckers," he muttered. Andy headed towards a highway and hitched a ride. By nightfall, he was hundreds of miles away from home. Andy thought about calling home to let his parents know he was okay, but talked himself out of it. "They just try to trick me into giving up my freedom," he muttered. He called his best friend and asked him to call his parents, but lied about his location. Andy was heading east, but told his friend he was hundreds of miles west. Within a few months, Andy found a comfortable place to live, a job that supported him, and friends. Within a year, he started a business with one of those friends, and by the time he would have graduated from high school, Andy was earning more per year than his father. Andy married, had a family, and when one of his sons ran away from home, Andy understood that the boy needed freedom more than security, and didn't take his son's actions as a personal rebuke. To this day, Andy has never sought to make contact with his parents, and if his own son should contact him, he will be pleasantly surprised.
Okay. Yeah, that's the twisted kind of tale we need for now. Changing times. I guess it's always changing times, but now it really seems to be changing. But it always seems to be changing. But I'll tell you what's not changing is that we're coming to the end of the show. And as soon as that little thing pops on, I click this button and I say goodbye.